Welcome, Battle Brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, servant of the Emperor of Mankind and defender of the Golden Throne. How is everyone doing today? I'm so excited for TTS. I have missed it, honestly. Even though there are times that I'm greatly concerned by what happens in this series, I am very, very excited. So, thank you, everyone. Oh, yes, I do need to make an announcement. Thank you very much, Bard. I appreciate that. I'm so bad at that. I'm so bad at, oh gosh, what's it called? What's the role called? Hello. I'm so excited. I can't wait. It'll be good. So we do actually have a couple videos to get to before we start with the podcasts. Oh no, you had a bad day, but you were relieved when you saw that I was hosting. Okay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I can help make your day better. A streamer that is on time, amazing. Wow, that's rude. I think for the most part I've been on time. I think for the most part, yeah. 1 second. So, just a heads up for any of you who are not in the Discord, you should join the Discord. If you are on the Discord, we now have new roles. So you don't have to have all the different notifications. So go to the channels and roles tab. And if you only want to know when I post my VODs, you'll get notified for that and you won't get notified for streams. So, all of that is there. Oh, didn't know what that's called. Oh, going. So I'm getting used to pinging the appropriate channels instead of everyone. There we go. 1 second. There we go. I figured out what the ping was. I did not set it up. Shout out to Onyx who set that up. Because I did not. Okay. I'm going to send out the ping to all the people who want to know that I'm going live. All right. Yes, yeah, yeah. Yes, thank you everyone for being patient. Oh, you're referring to streamers in general? That is a thing that I've heard, but I try to be on time. So yes, we will be listening to. Oh, let me switch over to my other screen. Okay. So here's kind of what things are looking like. So first off, we're going to start with some of the regular videos. And then I will switch to the podcast. So for today, in order to keep things entertaining, well, at least I try to keep it entertaining, I will be doing some armor recoloring. Normally my armor coloring streams, I let you guys pick what armors I do, but in the interest of trying to keep listening to the podcast, I've decided that I'm going to just work on different Custodes variants. I'll pop them up on the screen as I go about doing them, so you can watch me do that while we listen. I took a little peek at the podcast so I could figure out what it looks like. If it gets to the point where I'm like, you know what, I would much rather pay attention than work on the armor coloring, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to just be a little bit flexible today. So hello, everyone. Sorry if I don't catch all your messages. I definitely try to. Side note chat. I'm understanding why people like to watch streamers. So if you don't know me, I've never really been a streamer person. I can't really focus on what the streamer's doing and my own work at the same time. It's really the only way I can function. I have to like work on my own thing. I can listen to music, but like listening to someone else talk is very difficult. So I just happened to, while I was working last night, I happened to hop on a stream. Oh, I don't remember her VTuber last name. Jelly from Phase Connect. I happened to hop on her stream last night and I was like, oh, what's she up to? She's cute. I like her. And she just started talking. And she was talking about like hobbies and stuff that she did. So she mentioned a hobby that she did. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do the same hobby. So I commented and I was like, oh my gosh, like, like what's, like what kind of stuff do you do with said hobby? And she read my message. Like I never message VTubers or any streamers. I hardly ever send messages. And like literally my first message ever on one of her streams. She saw it and read it and she was like, oh yeah, this is what I do. And I was like, oh, what? She saw my message. Oh my gosh. Like, you're not kidding. It's the spike of serotonin. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then I sent a follow-up question and I was so excited. And then she answered the second question too. I was so excited. Like, oh my gosh, she read both of my questions. I still can't focus. Like, I ended up clicking off her stream like 5-10 minutes later, but I understood. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so cool. It also happened to another streamer from Phase Connect, Urtica, like, a few months ago when I was watching one of her streams and I was like, oh, I understand. I'm slowly but surely becoming you. Well, I'm trying to watch more VTubers and more streamers in general for like future collabs and stuff. And I kind of like, you know, it's good to see what other people do, see how you can improve. But yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was so excited. Senpai noticed me twice. And I mean, I know it's important and I like to read your messages and I like to respond. Like, if I see a message, I try to respond to as many as I can. And I'm so sorry that I can't. I really wish I could. But like, now I definitely understand what it's like. Witchcraft, the TV talks back. Yes. Oh, nice to have engagement, girl. Once read my comment in a gaming stream over a year back. Oh my gosh, I would be so excited. Because I think in Jelly's stream, she had like 950 viewers-ish at the point where I started sending messages. But it was so funny because it was like literally my first messages that I've ever sent in VTubers or other streamers chats. They both got responded to on both streams between like the two different VTubers. And I was like, oh my gosh. You're I know I'm a streamer. I can fangirl. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. To business now. I'm sorry. I had to tell that story because I understand. I understand. So, where am I on this list? Okay. So, here's where we're at. I didn't watch this one. It just shows that I watched it. So we have a couple things. We finished with episode 25. We have this one that's called Shadow over Immateriums. I don't know if I should watch that. Think it was my first commenter symbol. Do those pop up on YouTube? If they do, I don't know it on my end. I don't see first commenter. I did it on the YouTube side, not Twitch. And Twitch usually indicates it. Anyways, let me read my. Yeah, I always lurk. Yeah, I lurk too. So shout out to all my lurkers. I love all of you because I am a lurker. And if you've been in the Discord, you know I lurk too because I just like to pop up and cause chaos. I like to just pop in on a conversation that everyone else is having and I put in my 2 cents and then I like fade into the background. Yes, I know. The fact that she caught my second one means she was paying attention. I know. I thought that too and I got all excited. Yes, I love my lurkers. I am a fellow lurker, so I can absolutely relate. Okay, back. You're distracting me. You're distracting me, chat. Anyways, I finally admit it that I'm a lurker. Oh, no, I've advertised that I'm a lurker. I've totally said it. People have been saying something, and then I said, like, oh, I'm always watching. Like, I'm always looking in the Discord server. You haven't missed anything. I'm just talking per my usual. I just yap. They don't call me Yapstodes for nothing. Unfortunately, they call me that. Okay. All right, chat, let's focus. Do I watch Shadow over Immateriums? And do I also watch the story time, the bad fan fiction reading? Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you guys understand. Yes, you hide in the deep until you feel safe to speak. Yeah. Sometimes I just like to cause chaos. Because if they're talking about something, especially if they're talking about me and they don't think I'm online, because I'm online late at night. That's when I pop in and say hi. Okay. Is this relevant? Is this one relevant? I just don't know. Does this... Chat, I don't know. Give me answers, please. I know nothing. I know nothing. Watch them? Okay, we'll watch them. So here's what we'll do. So there's a couple in between, and then we'll get to the podcast. How far we get into the podcast, because the podcast itself is 1 hour and 40 minutes. I have no clue how that's going to run. So we'll watch Shadow over Immateriums, then we'll watch the story time, and then we'll watch the True Identity of Kitten. We'll watch those 3. I always assume you're watching unless it's in the morning because you have a gamer sleep schedule. I've never really been a gamer. It's only been recently. Only streaming has made me into, let's say, a gamer. Oh, let me make sure my alerts aren't too loud. I'm turning alerts down, chat. I will be doing my best if you have bits or other messages. I'm trying a new system to see how well it works. So I'm going to turn alerts down. But don't worry, I go back and I look at your messages and I will read them. I promise. So it's just a little bit of a different structure today. Okay, now we're gonna start. Let me get my desktop audio to where it should be. I have a Baja Blast today. I went to the store and got a Baja Blast. Very happy to have that. Oh no, am I gonna be traumatized from this? Oh well. This is what I signed up for. Being a streamer means you get traumatized every once in a while. Okay, let's do it. Oh, that hurt. You didn't have to tell me you're not a gamer. I can tell by your gameplay. Oh, ouch. That hurt worse than like a flamer. Holy cow. Oh, that hurt. Oh wow, okay. Are you like, why are you acting like one of my mods? Only my mods do this. Will burn me that bad. Holy cow. Yeah, mods, get that guy. Get him. I don't care if he's been here forever. Get him. Oh my gosh, that that hurt me. I do suck. I'm not very good. Oh, stop. Don't try to ride his coattails. Don't ride his coattails. He's the one who delivered the burn. Anyone after that tries to roast me after that, no, you're too late. You have to get the first strike. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am vulnerable to a psychic attack like that. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's forget this ever happened and let's just do this. Apparently, this is what I'm good at, reacting. Okay, let's do it. Mods need their own button. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's do it, chat. Let me check my audio. Okay, it should be good. The moon. I just gotta say anything that comes to my mind, really. Hive world, okay. A regular trench coat and 40k? Or is that just a regular coat? It's oddly long.
It's a rainy night. A shitty night. The perfect cure would be a bottle of Amasec right now. But I need to think clear. I took a sip from my bottle of iron-tasted water and pondered on this most peculiar case. The mayor of the local hive has disappeared without a clue.
Okay, I like this already.
Getting more and more grimdark. The papers tell me this isn't the first person.
Hang on, I'm sorry. I have to read this because this is like the perfect time to put hidden messages in your video. And it looks like it's just regular like articles. They're not really. They kind of have text, but they're not super. Sandpaper cigarette mentioned. You know I have to do the voice now. Thank you. I will be doing the voice. Let me take a sip of water.
If only I had a sandpaper cigarette.
That wasn't my best one. That wasn't my best version. I'm sorry. I Dominique was so funny and I could do his voice. My voice isn't where it needs to be today. You'll never stop me from saying these words.
Sandpapers.
Oh, no. My voice is bad. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
Political stature to disappear as of late. All who disappear are soon replaced from the hive's hierarchy, but each successor has been...
No! What? No way it said that. You saw that too, chat. You had to have seen
All
that.
who disappear are soon replaced...
You know what I'm seeing, chat? You know exactly what I'm looking at. Why? Why? Oh, gosh. This is... Oh, my gosh. See, I knew they would hide stuff in here. I knew they would hide stuff in here.
from the hive's hierarchy, but each successor has been shadier.
Now I have to read it. Now I have to make sure. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I could read this out loud, but after that sandpaper cigarette thing, I feel like it's not going to be as good. Sandpaper cigarettes is the first thing I hear coming into here. Yes. My second favorite, well, yeah, the one I think I'm more consistently better at is Catosacarius. I like that one too. It's because my voice can hit it. It's higher pitched. Anyways.
Than the last. Clearly foul play at work, but the local arbites refuse involvement, and the masses seem unconcerned. Not a surprise, seeing as they can't seem
I wonder who this guy is.
Usually, the Inquisition would have been sent in to inspect.
They can't be bothered.
Shifts in legislation. I'm on the case instead, and I intend to solve it. I entered the upper hives to allure some information about the disappearance of the mayor.
What's this guy's name?
Excuse me, sir. May I ask you a few questions?
Get out of my way, you outsider!
The locals weren't particularly agreeable. It could be the severe case of crotch rot that had plagued the hive recently. But I knew.
Oh, they just had to bring that back. Oh my gosh. Crotch rot and, you know, what the mayor was talking about. It's just really bad it's bad overall.
There was something else stirring. I could feel it in the air.
Oh, can you spare me a few thrones, young mister? I can
Thrones?
give you something for your generosity.
Excuse me. I'm looking into the case of the missing mayor. Mind if I ask a few questions?
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
The poor, sweet old mayor. You've been chopped up good, I reckon.
Did
Chopped
you
up?
do it?
What makes you think that?
Hardline imperial creator he was. Constantly opposing the cult.
Ooh, the cult chat.
Didn't appreciate
The
it,
cult.
they did some,
Don't join cults.
What more can you tell me about this cult?
You bring me a bottle of some of that sweet, soul-free anesthetics.
I knew I had to give him this good...
They can't help but dropping innuendos in the they can't help it. The good old Mountain Dew, yes.
side. He seemed to be the only one, perhaps drunk, perhaps stupid enough, to leak inside information to an outsider such as myself. Here,
What?
I always carry some extra on me.
So someone else is an alcoholic, I see. You carry some extra? Extra? That's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Where did you get all of that? Where did he pull that out of? The more important question. That's just Aurelia with the code red. Absolutely. That is me. That is absolutely me.
Fuck!
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
By pious brats? He's worse than me.
Hey!
Just a day in the life, sir. Now, please.
Dang it. Look at that. I can't read the whole thing, but you know what they're saying here. If you can see my mouse, here's my mouse. I'm not saying that, but we all know what it says. I noticed it when he walked by and I was like, maybe it's just a poster. Maybe it's just a poster. No, they always hide things. They always hide things.
Please, tell me everything you know.
Well, let me begin from the beginning. The Cold War was
He told
established.
me everything he knew.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't have to listen to all that.
The guise of a political movement bent on
No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
separating the planet from imperial rule. Most nobles in the hive were in on this act of treason and subterfuge. I knew I had smelled something fishy, but I didn't expect to find myself in the middle of a fish cake factorum.
Oh.
I started making my way to the mayor's office, but I didn't make it far.
What a
before
dumb
things took a
joke.
turn.
Hey there, handsome. You want to get in my car?
You're Detective Bruce.
Oh, no, it's a dude. Never mind.
Yes?
Who's
Oh.
asking?
Oh, pardon me. I am but a spokesperson for the new mayor. I heard
You're
you've been
sus.
sent here by the Arbites to investigate the disappearing.
He almost looks like a gene stealer to me. He looks
Can I answer
odd.
a few questions?
I'd be more than
Like, look at him. He looks so... Ooh. And he looks like a gene stealer. I don't like this. Obviously, you're not supposed to like his vibe. That's just the point of the story. Never do that again. I was trying to, I was trying to guess what was going to happen, and I think I failed.
happy to. But not here. This place is quite
Exposed.
public. Meet me at town hall. We can make further discussion there.
Yeah, look at his
I've met
staff.
many shady
That
people.
his staff,
We can make
that looks weird too. Look. Yeah, okay. I think you're a gene stealer. Look at that staff. That looks like a Tyranid head, arm, there's a leg, and then maybe another set of arms holding the stone.
make further discussion there.
Nah.
I've met many shady people in my days, but none were more shady than this uncanny excuse for a man.
I mean,
Every cell that made up my being screamed in chorus at me not to trust this so-called
Uncanny
spokesperson.
Valley. Uncanny Valley.
I digress, for I had made up my mind. I was going to the mayor's abode for sure. But using the main entrance has never been my way of doing things.
Nice. So, chat, you could say he's going through the back door. Anyways. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb.
What is it, brother?
We've received reports that the drunkard Larry spoke about the cult to the detective man.
Detective
Seems
man.
like we should have disposed of him while we could. We should render judgment upon his filthy hide for this act of treason.
Unfortunately, he seems to have drank himself to death about 20 minutes ago.
Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh. Oh. Well, it is of no matter, my brother. That Bruce Noring will have another thing coming when he arrives for our discussion.
That Magus, as they called him, he probably leads the cult operation as its
Yep.
face forward.
Oh, you
I
think?
just need to find some kind of hard evidence for this heresy, and then I'll be out of here.
Sir, you're probably gonna have to
This
go
room
to
is nothing but
Undercity.
Dust collection, nothing of interest.
Come, sister, let's go down and pray.
Yes, let us slither beneath
Ooh.
the hive.
Shit, someone's coming.
Ew.
God above shall soon embrace this world.
Our Father below has led us
Yep.
to our salvation.
I mean, I don't know. It felt pretty obvious, chat, but our father below, that's definitely the patriarch. it felt pretty obvious. They also have this diagram thing over here that looks like a Tyranid, but I'm not completely sure. So... Oh, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? The signs were all there. The signs were all there, chat. Although, can I have this library? I would love a library like this. What I need is a house that I never have to move out of. So I never have to move my books ever again. Because this would be so nice. But books are so hard to move. Maybe they're cosplayers. They could be. I doubt it. I doubt it. Library background when? I don't... Asking me about another background? I just got a new one. This is my new background. And you already want another one? And I thought I was too ambitious. Oh my gosh.
The god above, the father below. This needs investigation.
Yeah, he probably just not privy to secret information about gene stealers. Oi! Don't talk about Sanguinius like that. Just because he's dead doesn't mean you have to make those comments. No. See, you're wrong. Cosplaying does exist in 40k. It's called gene stealers. They cosplay. They cosplay as regular people. Honestly, I half expect him to say, like as a joke, that like earlier I half expected him to say that a lot of people's pants had been stolen. Because, you know, gene stealers. I don't know. That's just it's just the right vibe for this, where he just says it all casually and he's like, "That's peculiar." I like how modern the inside of this elevator is compared to like what you see normally in 40k. Very modern elevator, and it only has 3 floors and a ground level. So technically 4. Oh, this must be, unless ground signals basement. Okay, fun fact that I know. I have been to Europe. This must be like something like a European elevator, because usually when Americans talk about, like, so if you were going to be in a regular elevator, I'm sorry, chat, we're gonna devolve here. Americans usually, if a building has 3 stories, it's 1, 2, 3. Whereas I've heard that in England and other European countries, it's ground. The first floor is the Americans' second floor. Yeah, so I think this is a European elevator. I don't know. Sorry, it's just a dumb fact that I know. Oh yes, this is technically a very ancient elevator by their standards. You are correct. I'm sorry. My mistake. Yeah, it's just this odd... Yeah, because that's a G. If it was a B and it was basement, that would make sense. So, if he's going down, this elevator cannot actually take him down. Unless he started off on the 3rd floor, and I doubt he did. There you go, chat. Elevator lore. I hope you appreciated my dumb comments. Which is why you're here, right? For my dumb comments. Don't. Is it that skeleton that said that? Or is it a guy? That's what I do when I'm excited, chat. And this is interesting. when we were reading For the Emperor, the Caiaphas Cain novel, they talked about actually how the gene stealers were like deadly. They were like silent, like they didn't do. Like they communicated with their minds. They didn't talk at all. And they talked about how eerie and unhuman it was. And that was like the strangest thing. Even though that some of them looked more like humans than others, it was like that's something that like really threw him off, and that he knew something was wrong, obviously, because they were doing investigations. So it's funny that they make them go, eh. You don't have to admit you're a gremlin. We already know. Yeah, I'm a gremlin. You've heard my laugh, my little laugh. It's funny. Yeah, they just said that they were like perfectly quiet, at least in the book. I haven't read any other books with gene stealers in it. But that's what they said. They have a tank. Yeah, you're hosed, man. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh. That scared me. Oh, it's also possible this is part of a different hive fleet. Obvious, it's probably not part of the same hive fleet, so they can all interact differently. Oh my gosh, it scared me.
Well. Look what we have here. I had a feeling you had guts, Detective. I just didn't realize how badly you wanted them spilt.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I'm not... Oh. So I was kind of wondering, I was like, why didn't they just straight up kill him? Because I think he's probably still going to be alive. But you know what I think? I think that he's going to solve this mystery, but he's going to have the... Oh, I forget what it's called, but the gene stealer seed like put inside his body so that he creates gene stealers in the future if he has kids. Dun, dun, dun! That's my guess. That's my guess. Wait, CD. Look at all those nids. I don't... Are they joking that he got launched into space, or is he just seeing all of this? They're coming. The nids are coming. Here comes the boy. Oh, he's hungry. I'm hungry too. Something Nids and I have in common. The galaxy's a giant pizza, you're right. This is bad. This is bad. Oh. This is giving me Eldritch horror vibes. Like Cthulhu, stuff like that, even though I think this might be scarier in some ways. Oof.
You saw it, didn't you? Our God.
My Emperor, help me.
Your Emperor? Do you not see by
Come on,
now
let's see
that
the
your
patriarch.
Emperor is
Come on.
naught but nourishment for the great God beyond? It is coming right now.
Yeah, the
This
Nids
very
just want to eat the
planet.
Emperor.
Its tendrils will lovingly embrace this world and make everything right.
Sick You're all sick.
Oh, detective. Are you even aware that you're a psychic?
Ooh, that's a twist.
Perhaps you're in denial, but you just made personal contact with the mind of our great god and survived.
Oh no, man.
Surely, this is a sign that you will make a fine genius, Detective Warren. You will be able to spread our
Oh boy.
to many other worlds as you take upon further investigations. You will help our great
don't
god
monologue,
further make his
just-
way into our galaxy.
Just
I could think of no higher
stick it.
Never. My
Just
loyalty
get him with it.
with the Emperor and the Imperium. Mutant scum.
Such futile resistance, my patriarch. Will you do us the honors?
Ooh.
Seize his mind! Infect him! Tyrannicus lava
Get him, get him.
Slave gene stealers.
What is that?
Why are all of our brothers dead on the ground?
Did someone say?
Who is this? Who is she?
And how did you get in here?
Get him, girl. Oh. Oh. Oh,
Who are you? What are you?
She ain't an inquisitor? I can't tell. No, she looks like a sister.
What?
Or is she a saint? Oh, was she a saint? What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, buddy. Chad, he's lost his marbles. He should not be laughing like that. Okay, good. He's crying now. That's a more appropriate response. I was like, why is he laughing? Oh my gosh. Huh. I hope there are more episodes of this. I'm definitely interested. I like this. Let me make sure there's nothing more that I missed. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. There's going to be more. Okay. She's that one inquisitor that hangs out with Fyodor. Okay. And is obsessed with the gene stealers. Oh, yes. Okay. I remember her. I didn't know if that was like just a sister, well, inquisitor, or if like if it was a specific one, or was it just kind of like a regular one that's about. Okay. Oh, hey.
Wait. You?
She has the
Did you
Amasec.
just come back from the Materium?
Yes.
But it's okay, everyone. She brought Amasec, so it's all okay. She can share.
He'd get there.
I don't know.
Hi, Internet!
I almost spit out my drink. I took a sip and I wasn't expecting there to be. Hello. Hi, Drago. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, he got me. He got me. That's for sure. Let's see. We saw 25. Oh my gosh, chat, that scared me. I was like, ah. Okay, so we're gonna watch the bad fan fictions. Let me double check something. No, stop. Okay, let's go back to that. All right.
This shit is so surreal.
Okay, open this up. All right, the next one. That was good. That was good. I like that. It's a very the pacing is different versus the regular TTS you normally see. I really enjoyed it personally. I liked it a lot. Oh, ow, my neck. There we go. So we'll watch this one. I think we have the kitten one. I don't care what the book says. The TTS is my canon version of Caldor Drago. Yes. Yes, I agree. It's funny. It's so funny. I think the bad fan fictions was mentioned in the Q&A episode. Oh yeah, we're going to find out. And I'm a little worried that it's just going to go off the rails really, 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 really fast. There's a good chance it will. So, let's do it.
This shit is so surreal. Am I on drugs?
Yes. Am I on drugs? Great question.
After a savage duel, it cut me deeply. No foe had ever done that before. And with blood filling my mouth, I fell.
Kato POV.
Sicarius, Master of the Watch, Knight Champion of Macragge, Grand Duke of Talisar, and High Suzerain of Ultramar, fell.
Oh no.
Or so my foe believed.
Oh gosh.
In truth, I, Kato Sicarius, allowed the Undying to strike me down in order to feign defeat that he might lower his defense, and I, Kato Sicarius...
This already gives me, like, reverse Cain vibes. Like, oh, I did this thing on purpose, and it looks like it was a bad thing, but I did it on purpose, but it was actually a good thing. Whereas Cain's like, I did this thing because, like, I did not want to be there, and that's a bad thing, but then it ends up being a good thing. I think Cain and Kato, and the only time I've ever read anything about Kato Sicarius is at the end of Devastation of Baal, where he says like one line where he asks Dante, who had his freaking heart like punctured. He is like, Dante, are you okay? And everyone looks at him and they're like, are you for real, man? Are you for real? Why would you say that? You're so dumb. I was like, brah. So that's the only thing I know that I've like actually read in the books about him, but I was not impressed. Yeah, Kato Sicarius, it was all according to plan. Cain, not the case. Anyways.
May pierce his evil metal hide with the greatest of all weapons, my beloved Talisarian.
I can't take this seriously.
Blade.
It's TTS. What do you expect, though?
Dear Agrippin came bolting over to help, but there was no need, for I, Kato Sicarius, had already begun to heal from such a paltry wound.
Poultry chicken wound.
I, Kato Sicarius, leapt at my...
You know, chat, just a poultry wound. A wound that is put on you by a chicken. Or some other bird. A poultry wound. Like when when a turkey or a goose bites you, it's a poultry wound.
First new foe, crushing him underfoot before executing a tactical somersault and beheading 4 more with a single stroke. Gracefully, I, Sicarius, carved through waves of vile metal to reach the abominable monolith, running up its walls with speed and deftness.
Like an anime character.
Inside, I, Kato Sicarius, single-handedly tore through the enemy's ranks before exploding the monolith from the inside.
How'd you get out?
When the smoke cleared, the Astartes around me cheered, for I, Kato Sicarius, had saved the planet of Damnos from a bleak fate. The people thanked me.
Okay, I can't. The person who is reading this, mad props. I could not take this seriously. It would take me a long time. Oh my gosh. Poultry wounds caused by foul play. Beautiful. That pun was beautiful. Thank you for that. I needed that in my life. I didn't know I needed it. Thank you. This I could not read with a straight face. It would take me hours to get composed. Oh my gosh. This is golden.
But the celebration was short-lived, for suddenly ships appeared in the skies.
Oh,
overhead.
Eldar?
Eldar! I shouted, shaking my fist in anger. A sneak attack while we were preoccupied with the Necrons. How sneaky.
Oh, wow, the writing is peak.
No matter, for I, Cato Sicarius, struck them down as they landed, boarded their ships, and slew
Wait. Boarding the ships is just... Hang on. Yes. This is how he just jumped. He jumped. I, Cato Sicarius, jumped up to the Eldar ship and boarded it.
Their ships and slew their crew, taking great pride in personally blowing up their ships.
Oh, good job, good job.
As I, Cato Sicarius, returned to the planet victorious, I, Cato Sicarius, saw something shocking. The ground was suddenly crawling with greenskins. Foul
everything.
Orcs.
Man, I'm sorry for the people that live on this planet. It's a bad day to live on this planet. I'm so sorry. By the way, Fubits, thank you for becoming for becoming part of our Legion. Thank you very much. Just wanted to say that. I saw that pop up. Oh my gosh. These poor civilians.
I, Cato Sicarius, landed in a sea of green and immediately began carving my way through the putrefied beasts.
The slashes.
Even their hideous machines were of no match. I, Cato Sicarius, slew them all with
the zoom in every time is wonderful.
I, Cato Sicarius, approached their war boss to end the fight once and for all. I, Cato Sicarius, found myself
it was
surrounded
upside
by
down.
bodies of blue and gold.
Oh,
a sneak
okay.
attack by the Tau.
Oh.
They had allied themselves with the orcs.
Have the Tau ever done that? Okay, chat, I don't know this. I don't know this detail. Have the Tau ever allied themselves with the orcs? That seems like they really wouldn't unless it was a very bad situation. Has that ever happened? Because that seems absolutely bizarre to me if that's the case. The Tau tried, it didn't go well. That's what I thought. No, I know it's fan fiction. Trust me, my father, my sibling and I, we always get into theoreticals and hypotheticals about shows. Obviously shows that are fiction. And we'll talk about like reasoning and rationale for stuff. And we'll like really get into it. Not like fighting. We just like to discuss it. And my father will be like, hey guys, it's just a show. It's just a show. Can we continue watching it now? So yes, I know it's a fan fiction, but I'm curious if it actually happened at one point. Yeah, so I got the feeling that it was a situation where it didn't work out because just the differences in, just general not policy differences, cultural differences, let's say. Spider Dad lore. I've mentioned this before. They use the orcs once as a human shield, but that's it. Oh. New Shane Plus, thank you for becoming part of our Legion. Well, okay. So there you go. You knew this. I've mentioned this about my dad before. You knew this.
Foul Xeno scum banding together in wretched cooperation.
Unlikely.
But no unholy union could possibly best the greatest of them all, and with a mighty roar, I, Cato Sicarius, laid the beasts low. The cowardly Azure creatures tried to snipe me with their wicked snipers, but their blasts were pitiful and weak like them. With great ease, I, Cato Sicarius...
Wow, okay, I'm sorry. Him taking on like ranged weapon attacks from the Tau, that's a big deal. That means he's really tanky, chat. That means he's really, really tanky. Gosh, we're only 3.5 minutes into this video. Oh my gosh. We're only 3.5 minutes, chat.
Sicarius cut them down, mocking their pathetic attempts at subterfuge and trickery. Speaking of subterfuge and trickery, before returning to Damnos, I, Cato Sicarius, landed on a dark Eldar ship. Its vile, voluptuous vixens attempted to seduce me.
I like how vixen, and we zoom in on this guy, because clearly that's the one I'm going for. I got eyes on this guy, and not this chick, or this... Okay, I dig the spikes. Spikes are cool. But, like, not this guy or this guy. No, this one here specifically is my favorite. This thing on his face. Yes. Vixen right here.
Moaning and purring and grinding their filthy pale bodies against my armor.
Ew.
But it was of no use, for
Can you grind them into a pulp, please?
am above such icky things, and I, Cato Sicarius, slew them all with ease. They tried their miserable sneak attacks, but my armor was far too tough for their miserable blades, and they died the miserable deaths they deserved. After I, Cato Sicarius, destroyed the discomfiting...
It progressively gets closer and closer and closer and closer.
Green menace, I, Cato Sicarius, returned to the city where a great celebration was held in my honor.
Wow.
People declared the day of my grand victory as Cato Sicarius Day, and
Whoa.
I, Cato Sicarius, was awarded the title Grand Lord Almighty of Damnos.
I love this.
But right in the middle of
this is such a good story.
Parade, with lots of floats and balloons, a great rift appeared in the sky. The chapter master said that he was going to explore it to see what was going on, and told
I cast fist! Please, 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 cast fist. Oh my gosh.
Me and my men to come along with him. So we did, but we got too close.
Yes! Okay. At least, chat, all the Ultramarines are buff right now. Look at that. At least they all just jump into the rift. That I love. I love that. Vixens are icky. Cato Sicarius. Absolutely. Can confirm. Let's just chat if you ever need like to get anywhere. Just jump really far. Don't skip leg day, chat. Otherwise you can't do things like this. Okay? Make sure don't skip your leg day.
And we're sucked inside. Immediately, I, Cato Sicarius, knew where we were. We were inside the warp, and more importantly, we
genius.
had landed in the dominion of Nurgle, the god of disease.
That's the one I hate. I hate all of them.
The chapter master's hearts could not take the malputresified sights and smells of Nurgle's realm, and he suffered a heart attack and died. But before he did, he named me as his successor, and so
No! He was trying to get through his ultra depression. Double heart attack. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's really bad.
Sicarius, Master of the Watch, Knight Champion of Macragge, Grand Duke of
Keep
Talazar,
zooming in, please.
High Suzerain of Ultramar, and Grand Lord Almighty of Damnos, became Chapter Master of the Ultramarines. As my first order of business, I, Cato Sicarius, decided to strike deep into the heart of Nurgle's land. I, Cato Sicarius, sliced and diced my way through the rotting gardens until I, Cato Sicarius, reached the filthumorous Lord of Pestilence himself. He attempted to speak, but his words came out as burbles and spurts as I, Cato Sicarius, sliced into one of his many neck folds and decapitated him in a spray of blood and various other fluids.
Okay.
From another room, a woman entered.
I want this to be like something that in the end it's revealed like he wrote all this down in his journal. and he's like, this is like my dreams. Like, you know how like 8-year-olds talk about like, oh, you know what I did? I'm a superhero and I fought this guy and I fought this guy and I was so strong. Or like you're playing with your action figures. It's something like that. I want this to be like canon. He wrote this in his journal. I want this. Oh, I forgot her name. It's the life chick who's captured by Nurgle. And he's gonna be like, and we got married!
Tall
Isha,
and
I
lithe
think.
and graceful.
Thank you, fair champion.
She spoke.
For your brave and daring rescue of me, I, Isha, Eldar
Yes.
Goddess of Healing, pledge myself to you for all of eternity.
Chat, I am just too good at this game. This is a game at this point. Every time I start with a TTS episode, it's just a game. Yes, it's Isha. I'm glad I said it before anyone else did. It took me like it took me a few seconds for my brain to compute. It's just a game at this point. Can I guess what's going to happen next? I have a reputation to uphold at this point. My psycher abilities, I just have to. She's pledging herself to him. Oh, so you're getting married? Oh. Kiss.
But I, Cato Sicarius, of course knew this was a foul Xenos trick, and I, Cato Sicarius, cleft the harlot in twain. Before
Oops.
me, a fiery portal appeared, and I, Cato Sicarius,
Are you gonna kill
entered.
Korn now?
Immediately, I,
Yep.
Cato Sicarius, was faced with Korn, Chaos God of War. Of course, he was foolish enough to challenge me to single combat.
Yeah?
I, Cato Sicarius, would admit he put up a valiant effort, but Chaos deserves no compliments.
Correct.
And so I, Cato Sicarius...
I would say in some ways you can compliment Chaos. Like, you can be impressed with how they do things even if you don't like it. Like, sometimes Chaos can be very clever. Like, and they do things you're like, oh, dang, I didn't expect that to happen. You can compliment Chaos. It is actually probably better if you think about it, because then you, like, are recognizing where some of their strengths can lie. It's not really an important point. I just wanted to say it. Yeah.
Summon my strength into the greatest coup de grace the world has ever known, and struck him down.
I need more
Next,
details.
I entered the realm of Tzeentch, Lord of Change, but he was a
The gaming music in the background is great.
weakling, and I, Cato Sicarius, broke him over my knee with
Oh,
ease.
oh, oh.
Finally,
I would not have expected the realm of Slaanesh to look like this, but, okay.
I, Cato Sicarius, reached the most twisted land of all, the realm of Slaanesh, Prince of Pleasure. Immediately...
There's so many things I want to say, but I have to... I'm trying to be chill and say so. And not make all of the jokes that I want to make ever. Oh gosh. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I, Cato Sicarius, was beset by sweating, naked, panting bodies attempting to slow me down and force food and drink into my
I'm not
helmet.
gonna look at that.
But I, Cato Sicarius, trudged
No.
on. The smell of sexual activity was
Ew.
heavy in the air, but
Ew.
no amount of pervosity could stop me from my goal.
Ew.
After
It's
hours
all
of
blurred. You know what's that bad when all of it is blurred? Ew. Ew. Ew.
wading through flesh and fluids, I, Cato Sicarius,
Also, I think it would be funny, by the way, he killed Tzeentch so fast. I think it would be funny if Tzeentch didn't die and he had to do it again.
reached the palace of Slaanesh. Inside, the being gazed at me with intense desire, as though it wished to tear my armor to shreds and claim me as its prize.
Gross.
Finally, it spoke. Welcome, you delicious piece of Astartes, you.
Ew.
It mewed. I'll bet you're looking for a fight. Then you'll have one, you lovely little blue morsel.
Ew.
I challenge you
Ew.
to a dance-off.
Dance off.
It
Okay.
stood up and began gyrating and gesticulating in ways I'd not before seen. It thrusted and humped and slid and twirled and gallivanted until it was a sweating, panting wreck. Okay, your turn.
Oh, the voice.
Gasped. Little did it know that I, Cato Sicarius, had been trained in the arts of dance since Cato Sicarius.
Oh my gosh, he's like every book talk woman's dream. all the book talk girlies. They want a guy who's like a fighter, who will protect them, who has a little bit of pride, not too much. He might have too much. And then as a secret thing, it's like, oh, he's like very good with martial combat. And then, but he can dance. Oh. we want our dancers.
Was but a babe. I, Cato Sicarius, launched into galloping horseman style, and Slanesh gasped loudly. From there, I, Cato Sicarius, allowed my upper body to hang loose, swaying to and fro, and Slanesh began to tremble.
Ew.
For the grand finale, I executed a pirouette, followed by a backward slide, and finally gave a mighty finishing pose, tucking my face into the crook of my elbow and extending.
So he dabbed. Is that what we're saying?
The other behind me, before me.
Yep, he dabbed. That's what happened.
Slanesh wept. Take my life, you magnificent, prancing stallion. I cannot live after seeing such a marvelous display. And I, Cato Sicarius, did, carving its behaired head from its shoulders. With that, I
see chat, if you so I in real I will I ironically dab as a joke to my friends. So if you do that, this is maybe a reason why you probably shouldn't, because Cato Sicarius dabs. So maybe you shouldn't if you don't want to be like cringe like Cato Sicarius. Oh my gosh.
Cato Sicarius returned to Damnos. I, Cato Sicarius, was immediately greeted by a brilliant golden image. It was the Emperor of mankind himself. Hello, Cato Sicarius, he spoke, his voice majestic and booming. It is I, the Emperor of mankind. I have heard of your deeds this day, and have judged you worthy of leading the Imperium in my stead. I am losing my grip on this mortal coil, and can see no more worthy successor in all the galaxy than you.
Oh my gosh.
Take my
I'm sorry, he is the chapter master. We can't deal with him right now. He is the chapter master. So, unfortunately, we cannot deal with Cato Sicarius. And now the Emperor is like, you are the ruler now. Boop. That's how you become the ruler. You have to get booped. That was me. You can't see my hands, but I'm putting a crown on someone's head. And you have to say boop.
Power, and with
I'm
it,
so dumb.
lead mankind into a glorious new age. Suddenly I, Cato Sicarius, was warped to Terra, and I, Cato Sicarius, was wearing a new set of glittering golden armor.
I don't like
the
that
Emperor
combination.
had willingly passed on, and I, Cato Sicarius, Master of the Watch, Knight Champion
I don't like the
Macragge,
blue.
Grand Duke of Talisar, High Suzerain of Ultramar.
Yes! Chat, let me hear it. Let me hear it, chat. Chat. You know what I want, chat.
became the Emperor of Mankind.
Yes!
Returned to space once more to finish off the rest of the foul Xenos and their gods. The end! My masterpiece is complete! Now, to finish the binding...
No, I promise I don't pre-watch any of these. Yes! I guessed that like halfway through this video. No, it wasn't even halfway. I think it was before we got to the halfway point in this video. Chat. Honestly, whenever... Oh, there we go. Whenever someone ends up making... If someone ever makes Aurelia Psyker compilation, it's just going to be too long at this point. It's going to be too long. Oh my gosh. Here, I'll finish this and we'll call it.
LOL no. Your literary submission has been rejected.
Oh! I'm just too good at this. I'm too good at this, chat. Stop. There, okay. I can't guess everything because there's sometimes I look at it, I'm like, I don't know what this person is, or I don't recognize them right away. So I don't guess everything. But there's some that I just... How many have I guessed? I've gotten at least like I think a dozen different successful guesses. Yes, the Emperor saved the day. We never have to hear that again. He destroyed it. Good thing it's not going into it's not getting published. I have over 30 minutes of Psyker moments. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Let's continue this trend. Yes. Oh my gosh. There's some that like reveal better than others. That's for sure, but you know. Okay, this next one is the true identity of Kitten, which is a theory. So, yes, we're gonna watch it. And then it'll be podcast time. Each time you make more, I become the crying cat emote. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. It's in my nature. All right, let's do this one. Oh, I did not like that.
Within the depths of the Imperial Palace on Terra, the Emperor of Mankind is guarded night and day by his personal bodyguards, known as the Companions.
Oh yeah!
The 300 single-graded warriors
chat.
of the Adeptus Custodes.
Yeah!
These warriors are under the command of the Captain General of the Custodes.
Yeah.
In the present day, his true name is unknown.
We love the Custodes, chat. We love them. I mean, I do. They're my favorite. They're my favorite faction, so I love them. I love them. Hence my armor.
But he is known either affectionately or derogatively, depending upon your point of view, as Kitten.
Oh,
Kitten
that was so cute!
Depending upon your point of view, as Kitten.
Look at that! Look at his little face! Look at that face. Oh my gosh, I would pet him.
Kitten has proven himself to be a valued asset to the Emperor of Mankind, providing him with knowledge of current events happening within the Imperium. he has also been involved in many monumentous events, including witnessing the return of the Primarch Rogul Dawn, battling against the demon Primarch Magnus the Red, and was even the rumoured catalyst for a great revelation within the reliquary of the Salamander's Fortress Monastery. Some have
He's very
even
good at his job.
speculated that he even participated in a duel of wits against both the Emperor of Mankind and the Chaos God Tzeentch, and not only that, but managed to best them as well, even winning the possession of the soul of the Primarch Magnus the Red as a result, despite many Imperial scholars deeming such a task impossible for a mere mortal.
Yeah.
Given his
my meow wasn't too far off. Couldn't get it quite right, but it was close.
immense knowledge, skill, and wit, just who exactly is Kitten?
All I require is your full name.
It's long.
Are you really sure about that?
It's long, chat.
Why, yes, I am.
I mean, really sure?
Yes, tell me your full name.
Well, alright then. Here goes.
Some Imperial scholars speculate that Kitten is none other than Constantine Valdor, who served as Captain General of the Legio Custodes during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. This would seem at first a reasonable assumption to make, given his rank and the rumour that he did indeed survive the events of the Horus Heresy. However, Constantine Valdor was rumoured to have stepped down from his role in shame following the Emperor's interment into the Golden Throne, and that a new Captain General was elected by his peers to take his place.
I do, my lord. I am Captain General of the Adeptus Custodes.
Oh shit! What a twist!
But bizarrely, Kitten may not actually be a Custodes after all. The warriors of the Custodes are recruited from the children and descendants of ancient Terran nobles and warlords whom the Emperor conquered during the Unification Wars as part of their terms of surrender. But Kitten is not one of these descendants. According to recovered security footage from the Salamander's Fortress Monastery upon Prometheus, Kitten, in a fit of rage, discloses that he might have actually been created within the laboratories within the Imperial Palace on Terra, before being dragged away by Magnus the Red.
Do you not want to fight?
What?
We'll break into your reliquary, you spouter!
What?
Gonna take all your artifacts and wear them about!
What?
We're gonna take your engine thing!
What?
I'll slap your shit, I swear on me mum!
What?
Me mum was a Jew!
What?
A Jew, me mum fucking Everest!
What?
Fuck!
What?
Mum Everest!
Forget this ever happened, please, and thank you.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, he's going crazy, man.
But there were beings who were created in the palace laboratories. The Primarchs. After the events of the Horus Heresy,
that's a concept.
Many of the Primarchs simply vanished, never to be heard from again. And even before the events of the Horus Heresy, 2 of the original 20 Primarchs were erased from Imperial records for unknown reasons. Could it be possible that Kitten is actually a Primarch?
Well, he doesn't have the same size
Given
or
the sheer size of the Primarchs
stature.
themselves,
Yeah,
on
there we go.
average, this would seem extremely unlikely.
He'd be
as we
close to
have seen
Alfarius
Kitten himself
size.
dwarfed by Primarchs such as Rogul Dawn and Magnus.
But like Alfarius
But the
is too.
Primarchs were not all the same height. For starters, Alfarius was only the size of a large Astartes, which would fit Kitten's approximate height in comparison.
Yeah.
But Alfarius himself was
Kitten is Alfarius. Dun dun dun.
killed by Rogul Dawn during the battle for Pluto in the Horus Heresy, and as such, Kitten cannot be Alfarius. But he
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
could potentially be the second head of the Hydra, the twin Primarch of the Alpha Legion, Omegon. We know Omegon survived the events of the Horus Heresy, and even took his twin brother's identity to keep up his deception with the other legions, and given his willingness to sabotage his twin brother's plans from time to time, could have forced Omegon to eventually have a crisis of conscience. It was heavily speculated for a time that Omegon himself became Janus, the first Grand Master of the Grey Knights.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But that has since been disproved, as Janus was in fact the Loyalist Thousand son, Reviel Arvida, who became infused with a shard of Magnus the Red.
I did know that.
There are also the rumours of quote-unquote Alfarius being slain by Rabute Gilliman shortly after the Horus Heresy. That being said, Gilliman himself admitted that he wasn't even sure it was his
if
brother
he was
slew.
Alfarius, it would kind of make sense because Alfarius would know a lot of information about like everything because of how his legion operates. He can get a lot of information that way, so it's like not all that surprising.
However, the truth of Kitten's identity is far more shocking and disturbing than anyone could have ever anticipated.
Oh yeah?
For the truth of the matter is that Kitten
has heard every single word of this nonsense.
What does...
You? Not sure why you'd be so surprised seeing how I live here. Well, a couple miles away, but that's practically the same street on Terra.
Yes, but still.
Honestly, why is everyone trying to figure out my name all the time? It exists on public records, as no one bothered to check it in the last few thousand years.
Have you seen the size of the Imperial Archives?
That's a great point.
The paperwork take up hundreds of miles of storage space, but Rogul Dawn has been using the stacks of paper to build a fort.
Yes, he used he used one of the stacks as a support beam.
You just go there and get the file, can I? Really though, why doesn't anyone know it to begin with, considering I'm Captain General and everything? It kind of hurts, to be honest. People don't seem to really appreciate the Adeptus Custodes.
We love you, Kitten.
Confined to the palace, except in all the wrong ways. Isn't it creepy how big of a deal some people are making out of my name? No one ever seems to want to find out who the Legion of the Damned are or what the Tyrannid's grand purpose is.
We're just obsessed.
Biggest mystery in the galaxy, apparently.
Well, I don't think anyone cares about them, to be frank with you.
It's because you have personality, Kitten. It's like this. He's like a streamer, chat. You like the personality. Please don't do this. Please. But you want to know who the person is behind the mask, like Superman or something, where it's like, oh my gosh, this guy is so cool. I love his personality. I need to know who he is. It's like that. So everyone's like, we love Kitten. Except I don't think I would go that far trying to get all that information.
Look, just go back to improving the Imperium's technology or something.
Good idea.
We all know you don't really care for dabbling in xenotech, so long as you've got an adamantium hard cyber stiffy from it.
Look, I'm actually a Lord Inquisitor. I don't do menial labour anymore.
Oh, you're an Inquisitor now, huh? Wow, that's an interesting career change. Magnus, open the portal!
Get sent to the warp, buddy. Get sent to the warp. Aurelia was Kitten all along. No. Kitten does, at times, questionable things. And clearly, Kitten is a guy. I am not a guy. So, no. No, gosh, you saw him. He's got, like, pecs and everything. And he got all the muscles. No. And he's also way more tan than me. Like, look at me. No, Kitten's abs are something to behold. I could not even, like, get close to, like, achieving that level of perfection? Perfection is probably the right way to put it. Yeah, I'm a little too pasty for that. All right, so this is the podcast episode. Okay, so this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting, chat. So because it's a podcast, it's not really a video. I did look in advance. So if you're like, oh my gosh, she pre-watched, no, chat. I just wanted to see what the setup would look like, so then I could choose the best look. So I did not pre-watch. I only watched like the first 2-3 minutes. So then I could assess if this was going to work. Because I have another screen. I was going to do some armor coloring while we were listening to the podcast. So, I might switch it up if you're like, you know what, I would rather just read the words on the screen as they go. We'll adjust accordingly. I just didn't want it to be too bland. I have seen The Last Church. I watched it several months ago before I decided to start streaming. So I've seen it. I probably won't do a stream where I react to it because I already know what happens and it's not going to be like a genuine reaction. So yeah. Like if I did react to it, it would have to be like a few years down the road where I've like kind of forgotten it, but the concept and like what they talk about is pretty consistent. So okay, we're gonna do this. So let me move all my stuff around. We're gonna do full screen. Oh wait, no, stop. Okay, we're gonna have to do some magic here while I get all of this set up. Okay, so for this stream, if you haven't been part of my armor coloring streams, basically I can color my armor, all fun stuff. I will show you an example before we go. Which one do I like the most? We'll do this one. So I can change the way my armor looks, and like I can just color my armor however I feel like. So this is basically what I have to do is I take my texture pack and I break it up and I color it accordingly. So this is my Fulgrim / Emperor's Children model. So this is basically what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep an eye on things and see if I like this. If I don't, we're just gonna watch the video with the text. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Watch the TTS podcast on The Last Church and rewatch The Last Church, see if I notice anything different. Yeah, maybe. Can I make my skin tan? Yes, but I haven't really messed with the skin colors as much. I don't want to get accused of anything, so I try to avoid it. If there's anything that I do, I make myself paler when I do like a Korax model. That's the only thing I've done, because I don't want people to get like weirded out about stuff. Okay, I'm gonna change back to my regular armor. So what I'm gonna do, most of the time for my regular armor streams is that I let chat choose what I do. But since that would be kind of distracting from TTS, I've decided I'm just gonna do different Custodes models. The first one, so that's a standard one. So I currently kind of have a Aquilin, I think it's the best way to say it, shield host vibe. So I'll just be doing the other types. So we're gonna see how it goes, chat. Make that full screen. In theory, that should, so I have it up in the corner for us to see, for us to look at. Chat is over here. My alerts will be just above my head. I think everything will get covered. I think we'll be good. In theory. We will see. We will see. I need a third monitor to see all of this stuff. This is going to be a bit difficult. So yeah, we'll start with this and I might adjust it and we might just go back to the other screen and watch the video. Okay. We do that. We're going to play it. Okay.
Attention, denizens of the Imperial Palace and beyond. This Voxcast Publique is designated Alpha Prioris. Continue your operations.
All right.
But listen well to this very important announcement. Thought for the day. Heresy has 6 letters.
I like this.
You are always 6 letters from damnation.
Yes.
Is it Tom?
Who's tapping the box, sailor?
The on button shines green, so I would wager yes, my lord.
Sass me again,
like
and
Discord
I will
chat.
throw you through the roof.
Oh, look, there are ambience options on this thing.
What
this
are
was
the
painful
options?
to listen to when they were going through it the first time.
Rain and thunder, wind in trees on an agri-world farm, low-key high gothic chanting, a crackling fire,
Is gothic
distant
chanting
cybermastiff barking,
ever low-key?
Empty cathedral white noise, real actual ocean wave sounds, server farm humming, artificial space noise and clown cavern ambience.
Ooh, not that one, please.
Activate them all and see what it sounds like.
Right, except the last one, of course.
We have reached the pinnacle
That
of
sounds
relaxing
horrible.
ambient sounds.
Have we?
Father, this is distressing.
What was the... I cannot hear a thing.
I am not a thing. Please, turn this horrible noise off.
I shall turn it down, my lords.
Thank goodness.
That will do.
Okay.
Now that we have set an appropriate mood, how about we begin?
Yes. Sirs, defenders, wardens, workers, and sycophants of the Imperial Palace. Greetings to you. I am an Imperial Fist. You may call me by my newly designated wall name. Adorable. Together with me are two tribunes of the Adeptus
Oh my gosh.
Custodes.
Most suggest
As a joke, chat, my joke is that when I did a Primarch, I think it was Smash or Pass stream, or it was the tier list stream, we were talking about what Primarch would be the best like spouse. I said that my nickname for Dorn would be Adornable. Like adorable, but it actually is a word. I'm sorry, it's so dumb, but I find it funny. I find it funny, so it's adornable. Oh my gosh, it's good. It's very wholesome and cute. Okay.
festive salutations to you all.
A pleasure. And your lord, the Emperor of Mankind.
That is I.
He has forced this menial servant boy into holding a Voxheller into the Sanctum Imperialis in order to relay
There's
a
a
message.
kid here.
Say hello, boy.
Ooh, ew.
Hello.
Oh, the breathing. Okay, I can't with the breathing. Like, if you've ever, and I have, if you've ever had the opportunity, I wouldn't say it's like a displeasure or anything. If you've ever had the opportunity to work with children, like, not daycare, I would say, but I mean, I kind of, I guess. They breathe like that. They breathe like that, and it is, like, ugh. Okay, boy, why? Apparently, boy is the best character? Oh, okay, wow. Clearly I don't know any better, and clearly boy is beloved. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Chat, forgive me and my ignorance. Forgive me. I had no idea he was beloved. I guess I will find out why. I'm sure I will find out why. Pugs breathe like that? Yes, they do. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, chat. Forgive me, chat. I did not know. My ignorance. Oh, wow. Okay, all of these chats about boy. Okay, well, I guess we'll find out. I hope I find out in this episode about why boy is boy. Ignorance proves nothing. Oh gosh. I'm still, am I guilty of heresy? Oh my gosh. This is like, I think, the fastest my chat has ever moved. Oh my goodness. This is the fastest my chat has ever moved in defense of boy. Okay, alright, fine. Boy. This guy here.
Thanks.
Ugh,
You can't
the
stop breathing now.
Yes, my lord.
That's
Do
exactly
not
what
actually
kids
do
do.
The message, as it were, is that you all are absurdly uninformed.
Stop.
Yes.
And that he is very ashamed of you.
Secure your mouth, you lemon-stained
Yes.
hunk of ceramite.
I am not a large portion of ceramite, father. I am a
Thank you,
living
Doran.
being.
This I have yet to notice.
I did spill lemon juice on my Centurion armor earlier this morning, however.
Shut up. I am speaking now. Greetings, children. I am the Emperor. How is it going?
Children.
Just kidding. That was a rhetorical question. I
He
do
doesn't
not
care.
actually want to know. To bring you full context of exactly how and why I can't speak, the Golden Throne, to which I have been shackled for over 10 millennia, has had a so-called text-to-speech device installed into its framework, allowing me to carefully manipulate the ancient microscopic remnants of my own flesh remaining around the stasis field encapsulating my eternal body, effectively typing out whatever I want to have said. This allows me to have nuanced conversations with you without the hassle of further breaking my soul in desperate attempts to relay my messages to the dim-witted populace of my Imperium through agonized
Yikes.
psychic shrieks. I have made the
Sob.
decision to broadcast this message to you, for I have come to realize that you are all absurdly uninformed and that I am ashamed of you. Since my
Doran
attunement,
got it
things
right.
have gone through 7 hells of ignorance and back. And just to give you an example of this, you Vox Hailer.
Yes,
My lord.
my lord. Yes, my lord. What do you want? No, sorry. I mean.
Tell me in earnest, boy. Do you know anything about the White Scars?
Is that what you get when cutting your hand on rusted knives?
Funny.
A white scar.
What is your name?
I mean, scars
My
kind of
name?
turn pale.
You took too long. Your name is Boy. Now,
Oh boy.
Okay.
this boy, represents your collective ignorance. He is untaught to the point where
He's
he
also
does
like,
not
what,
even know
8?
the name of one of the original Space Marine Legions. I mean, alright, to be fair, the White Scars are amongst the least noteworthy specimens I ever did make, but
Oof.
that is no excuse.
Sorry, White Scars
Most humans
fans.
receive only enough education to enter the workforce. Knowledge of the Adeptus Astartes does not constitute essential information in that regard.
Which is why I wish for this to be recorded and publicly spread to each household on each planet, no matter the time it may take. Ignorance damns progress, my children.
Yep.
I shall provide context for why you are alive.
You
This
see,
is ironic,
when two
coming from
people
you,
get
Father.
together.
I do not care in the slightest.
So, what we are doing right here, right now, is that we are covering the history of the White Scars because they are an important subject for the Imperium at large to know about, apparently.
It is not about the
Apparently.
importance of the subject matter.
Then, what is it about?
It is about quelling ignorance, however small it may be. And because I just read several accounts worth
Why
of
did he
history about
snicker?
the White Scars of all things, and I need a pick-me-up in the form of biased venting.
All right.
Yes.
My veiny vocal cords are tense, taut,
Okay.
lubed, and loosened.
But honestly, this is how I am. Like, when I'm reading the Warhammer novels, I'm just like, I need to talk about this. I just got so into it. I'm like, I learned about all this and I just need to tell someone. Because if I don't tell someone, I'm going to go crazy. I can relate to the Emperor in that way.
My lord, where exactly should we begin?
It depends on exactly how unknowledgeable we should assume our listeners currently are.
Let us assume...
Very. Yes.
Right. To clarify, Space Marines are big humans stuffed with extra organs and muscles, typically wearing powered space armor.
We are really assuming the worst.
These Space Marines, along with all other fighting troops in our Imperium, are in a never-ending war against aliens and other undesirables in order to keep you, your neighbors, and your entire planetary population breathing. They are a primary reason why you and your entire ancestral line even exists. This is also why you work long, unfulfilling days in factorums, out in the fields, inside the mines, stuck in the district medicais, or wherever you may be doing your duty. Through your servitude, you are contributing to the fight. You are aiding in our continued existence, helping us in our quest to obtain mankind's solemn birthright.
And that is why we are here specifically talking about the legendary and exceedingly rare Space Marine strike forces only employed in the most dire situations and not about, say, standard planetary defense forces that you, as a bog-standard Imperial worker, might have actually seen once or twice.
Well, to be fair, compared to stories about their local planetary defense forces, telling stories about the fabled Space Marine chapters would be loads upon loads more exciting.
I agree. It would be much more exciting.
What is a better word for marketable?
Marketable.
I can tell you, listeners, that I am such a Space Marine. The Emperor, my father, who is right over there in his throne, made 20 legions of Space Marines circa 10,000 years ago, in the 30th millennium. Among them were the Imperial Fists, such as I, as well as the White Scars, who are our subject matter.
Well, to chip in, each of these Space Marine legions, or Legio Astartes as they were called in High Gothic, were led by what you should probably know as a Primarch. You know, the Emperor's sons. The reason you all celebrate Sanguinala?
A Primarch is a Space Marine, but bigger. They were designed to be my generals in the Great Crusade that I led while I still lived. Their existence being for the sole purpose of aiding me in my quest to unite mankind in a star-spanning empire and shepherd all into a new age. Unfortunately, fully half of my creations along with their Astartes legions turned against me under the leadership of one Primarch you should know as fuck.
Oh goodness!
Oh,
my ears!
What the heck?
What is this infernal noise?
It came from the Voxhaler, Father.
Why is it making that noise? Oh.
Explain, sir.
I'm really sorry, my lord. The voice hailer was designed to censor any words not sanctioned by the Adeptus Ministorum.
Well, that is a load of
Bruh, it's the Emperor.
Why the would they f***ing do this to me? Someone needs to be f***ing punched right the f*** now. How dare they define it?
Stop it!
I demand you turn this f***ing censor right off.
I'm sorry, my lord, I can't.
What do you mean you can't? Do you want me to suffer more than I already am?
Oh my gosh, poor boy.
Oh, I'm feeling ill.
Then turn those awful hell horns off, you fucking boy.
There's no option to turn off the sensors. I'm so
There we go.
sorry, please.
Ooh, ew. Ew, did you?
Goodness gracious.
Ew.
The
Kids.
Ecclesiarch is going to answer for this.
Perhaps you could use this as an exercise in not overusing profanity, Father.
Go f*** yourself, Rogel.
I believe that is biologically impossible, and I've only seen Lorgar do that with extensive genetic modifications.
Is there an option to censor
another
everything
reason.
Rogel says ever?
Oh my gosh, another reason to hate Lorgar as much as I already do. Ew, that's disgusting to think about.
I am adorable.
You are most certainly not.
Adorable.
Might I suggest we do not get too sidetracked? We have barely even started speaking of the White Scars. Most people in the Imperium have an attention span as large as the margin of error on a warp jump.
Oh my
If they
gosh.
do not listen, they will be sent.
And when was this made? I'm sorry, let's look at this really fast. 6 years ago. Oh my gosh, they're saying 6 years ago that people don't have a high attention span. And look at today. Today, chat. Oh my gosh. I am sorry, chat. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I didn't know it was going to be that loud. I apologize. Yeah, this is, no, man. Yikes. You still want Lorgar as a husband? Mods, get him. Get him, chat. Get him, chat. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. That is extreme heresy. I will allow some form of heresy in my chat. It's chat. But that is extreme heresy. Oh my gosh. Are you for real? Oh, get him out of here. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I don't care if you're subscribed and you're a member. I don't care. Get out of my legion. Get him. Anyways, chat. We'll keep going. Yeah, chat, get him. Get your flamers out, chat. All right, sorry.
Sentenced to a vacation on the White Scars' home planet.
Which is exactly the planet that we shall be discussing today. having introductions out of the way, from which side should we start prodding?
We have read several different accounts
stop
of White
that.
Scar's history, most of it covering their actions between circa millennium 40,000 and now. What were the titles again?
Let me check for you.
Oh.
Let's see here. Oh, right. Well, we have the 5 different Codex Space Marine records. Apparently edition 3 through 7. Albeit I never did find edition 1 and 2.
Oh,
so
are they talking about
that was
actual
kind of odd,
editions?
but,
Probably
then we
6
got
years ago.
The Index
Yeah.
Astartes 1
Okay.
record,
Oh,
the
gosh.
the chapter-approved Book of the Astronomicon,
Mhm.
and lastly the Hunt for Voldorius record.
Which record should we begin covering?
Might I suggest the Index Astartes book? It did contain a detailed record of the origins of the White Scar's Primarch, Jagatai Khan, honored be his name. It was quite an interesting read.
If by interesting you mean sleep-inducing, I might just agree.
You do not sleep, Father. You are in perpetual pain. It's almost as if you're an eternal pain glove cranked up to 11.
Thanks for
Dorn and his
reminding
pain
me
glove.
of every second of my existence.
You are welcome, Father. I am surprised you forgot.
Permission.
Ow, loud noise.
Permission to begin,
How
my
loud is that?
master.
I'm gonna turn it down.
Go right ahead.
I want you guys to suffer.
Index Astartes 1.
Right, so, the Index Astartes book. Well, let me pick it up here. The Index Astartes book starts recording the galvanizing history of the
Kitten
White
would know
Scars
this off the
from
top of
page
his head. He
40
wouldn't have
and
to get the
onwards.
books.
It begins by stating that the White Scars are only rarely recorded in history, and even when they are, the text is based on the words of the White Scars themselves, and thus embellished and exaggerated.
The only way for them to make it interesting.
I like how it brings up 2 examples of how Jagatai Khan, honored be his name, came to land on Mundus Planus,
Honored be
and how
his
one
name.
is correct and one is absurdly wrong.
I think it's pronounced
crap.
Mundus Planus, actually.
I think Mundus Planus sounds funnier. It is exceptionally plain.
Yes, well, one legend states that he traveled there from Terra by himself as a youth, apparently.
One cannot go on space travels when one is but an infant.
Well, it is technically correct if you
Y-
take into
yeah.
account that he did not travel voluntarily.
No.
other example
He
is
got
uncannily
yeeted into
correct, however.
space.
Oh, yes, the other one says that he was abducted as a baby.
Which
Yeah.
he was, by the foul gods of chaos.
Well, I guess that one makes sense.
Why am I even surprised?
The most amusing part is that right after giving these 2 examples, it goes on to state that the truth is likely somewhere in between those 2 myths.
Is this dumb record implying that Jagatai, as an infant mind you, wanted to get abducted so he could go crash into some feudal flatland ridden with speedweed?
Yes.
Simple fact is that these men coincidentally happened to get one of their myths on point.
Get enough remembrancers high and throw them at an origin story, and someone will eventually get it right.
Permission to move on.
Go.
Right, so the record goes on to tell us that the Khan arrived on a world within Segmentum Pacificus that is called...
Segmentum Pacificus being the imperial space to the galactic west of Terra, by the way.
Yes, the planet is called Mundus Planus.
Mundus Planus?
Will you shut up? Officially by imperial cartographers. But to Jagatai Khan, honored be his name, it was known as Chogoris.
It truly speaks to the banality of this place, that the imperial cartographers decided to name this planet Plain World.
Father, you must realize though, this name is bland. The world upon which humanity was first founded is called, and I quote, dirt.
Yeah.
It then goes on to say how fertile the world is with lush greenery, soaring mountains, and azure seas. Truly, a feudal wonderland straight out of the old fables.
Not nearly enough gold and factorums.
Yes, right, well...
The planet of Chogoris was, well, as you said, my king, classified as a feudal world, having just invented gunpowder. The majority of its settlers living in an organized aristocracy under a ruler called Palatine.
That is such a weird, unwieldy name. Good thing he died. Oh, oops, spoilers.
You know, Could have sworn Palatines rank amongst the Sisters of Battle.
Yeah, it
Weird
is.
coincidence.
Voxeller, do you know what an organized aristocracy is?
History lesson, chat.
Food?
No. It is a form of government that is ruled by a small group of wealthy, powerful
Write it down, chat. Write it down.
So, does that mean the Imperium is an organized aristocracy?
No. It is an Imperium.
Sorry, I'm dumb.
So this Palatine apparently had highly disciplined and well-equipped armies. Well, for a feudal world. Armored horsemen and infantry in high numbers won every campaign Palatine launched, so they had effectively conquered the entire planet with the big exception of one area called the Empty Quarter.
Calling a big portion of land a quarter is a strange decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Empty, when it is filled with savage tribesmen and horses, is even stranger. I am certain many a family picnic ended horribly out there.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Here is where the story really begins.
We have not even begun, and I am already sick and tired.
Apparently this book is now citing passages from another record called The Great Khan of Quanzhou, penned by one of Jagatai's honored generals by the name of Okadai.
That name sounds familiar for some
I
reason.
agree,
But
I
more to the point, why
don't
did you
know.
not bring that record with you?
Because we do not think it exists. We could not find it anywhere.
So much for sourcing.
So, Jagatai Khan, honored be his name, first landed
Honored
in
be
the
his
vast
name.
wind-blown steppes of the Empty Quarter, west of Palatine's empire. As you said, nomadic tribes of savage horsemen roamed these steppes and had done so for centuries, following a cycle of seasonal migration from pastures in the summer to protected valleys in the winter, always living in simple tents.
How anyone can live with such a gold deficiency has always been beyond me.
I know,
Gold
right?
is
Look at
not
all this
required
gold on my
sustenance
armor.
For survival, Father.
You say that like it is a fact.
It is.
No.
What did you just say?
While the Palpatine Empire never bothered conquering the Empty Quarter, it saw no shortage of war. These tribes constantly fought amongst themselves for territory.
As if one field of grass is somehow better than another.
They also supposedly did it for the sheer joy of battle.
Sticking axes in each other's faces is a great pastime, when riding horses stops being fun.
Yes,
Yeah, I guess.
but it was all child's play compared to the apparent atrocities carried out by the Palatine Empire. The record claims that based on the blood rituals the nobles of the Empire performed, Imperial scholars believe they were worshippers of the Chaos Gods.
Oh gosh, I hope it's quieter for you guys.
The Jagatai for murdering them.
Right, so Jagatai landed near the so-called Krunan River, where a man called Ong Khan found him.
Honor goes to Don Khan for not trying to eat this crash-landed infant upon finding him, I suppose.
I do not think there have been any records of these tribesmen being cannibals, my lord.
You are right. Honor goes to Jagatai for not eating this weird horseman instead.
Oh gosh.
The joke is that Space Marines eat human flesh at times.
It is one of the funnier genetic quirks I came up with.
That quirk happens to be recorded in this Index Astartes book, incidentally, on page 4 to be specific.
Sourcing is great. E-boy always does it. Anyway, move on.
Oh, right. So Ong Khan was given the honor of adopting this glowing child into his tribe, the Talskars believing him to be a gift from the gods.
Of course he fucking did, damn it. Ow.
Since he was young, the tribe had claimed there was a fire in his eyes, which is a Talskar term for being a great warrior.
Having fire in one's eyes is not a Talskar term. It has been said for centuries.
If Jagati had fire in his eyes, he would not be a great warrior.
Jagati.
He would be dead.
I don't like that. He calls him Jagati. That hurts.
While Jagatai was still young, exactly how young we are not sure, but an event known as the Blooding happened. Raiders from a rival tribe called the Kurayed stuck their axes into Talskar faces in a vicious, dishonorable
Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
Slaying his adopted father.
Well, he did not stick around for a long.
Gosh.
It was funny. UGH my ears for food.
I think he's just jealous that he didn't get to be a dad.
State of events.
Anyway, Jagatai, already the greatest warriors amongst his tribe, and bearing many, ritualistic scars of courage.
Because having a ritual where you cut deep to scar yourself is a great idea when you live on a filthy feudal world where a simple infection equals death.
Yes,
yeah, be careful,
he
chat.
became popular amongst the Talskars and led them into battle against the Kuraid tribe, racing their village to the ground and slaughtering them all, bathing in their blood and mounting the head of the Kuraid chieftain above his tent. These events were to shape the Primarch into the man he would become, a man of fierce honor, loyalty, and ruthlessness.
As a disclaimer, just because Jagatai Khan is a Primarch that you all should look up to does not mean that you should go slaughter your neighbors and raise their heads up high on your head.
That is a great point, chat. Don't do that. Yes, don't do that.
I will not savage the enemy tribes, my lord.
Unless they are Xenos, of course.
Yes,
So
yes.
anyway,
Destroy all the Xenos.
After the killing of the Kuraid, Jagatai swore to bring an end to the wars between the people of the steppe. He now sought unity of purpose, and for his efforts, he was elected Khan of the Talskar tribe. After this, Jagatai started subjugating and conquering the other tribes, forcing them into his ever-growing army.
Ah, he had his own little great crusade out in the fields. Like father, like son, eh?
We should call
Kind
it
of,
the
yeah.
Small Crusade, for it was very small.
Very good, Lord Adorable.
Please do not call him that.
Anyway,
Rogally Don Don. Would you prefer Rogally Don Don?
Was named the Mathuli, which is a Talskar word for irresistible force. He made military service mandatory and combined warriors from different tribes into the same units as to break up tribal association and
Good
rid
idea.
his army of segregation.
That's what Kane did to combine the
He promoted his
two
warriors purely
guard
based
units.
on their abilities, giving each person due respect if they could prove themselves worthy of it.
As long as they were capable of growing a stringy mustache, they were probably good.
So, 10 summers after the culling of the Kuraid, while his armies were migrating in preparation for the coming winter, a freak avalanche came blasting down the slopes, taking Jagatai and many of his tribesmen with it, down a cliff.
Was it fire?
Jagatai survived, of course. No amount of snow could kill a Primarch.
Yes, oh yes, instead of dying, he was harried by a hunting band from the Palatine Empire, incidentally led by Palatine's own son.
Needless to say, he flipping died.
Smashing.
What was that word you just said?
Look, I am desperate here. That disgusting Voxhaler is making me take drastic measures.
Hilarious. Please, keep doing this.
Frick you. Your actions have consequences.
Speaking of consequences, Jagatai Khan, honored be his name, slaughtered the son of Palatine and his band, mutilated the last survivor, tied him to his horse, hung the decapitated head of Palatine's son around the neck of the survivor, and sent him back to Palatine with a message. The people of the steppes are yours no longer.
Nothing says get off my grass fields like being sent to your brat's head on Horse Express.
Yep.
As a result of this, Palatine was outraged, and soon as summer came, marched out with his army, intent on wiping out the barbarian tribes.
It was too bad he faced Jagati Khan, infinitely more cunning
Jagati,
and
I can't
resourceful
get
than
over
an
that
old
Jagati.
aristocratic cultist.
In the Valley of the Khans, on the Long Sun Plain, Palatine's empire met Jagatai's Mathuli.
What's with the
He met his
storms?
defeat faster than Jagatai drives.
That background, ominous.
Really fast.
Really fast.
Gotta go
Since
fast, chat.
Palatine's army was accustomed to hand-to-hand combat, they did not stand a chance against Jagatai's hit-and-run tactics. Palatine instead retreated back to his capital city and hid like a little baby.
This is really starting to sound familiar, eerily so.
So over the course of the next years, Jagatai's army started overrunning Palatine's lands, besting armies, storming walled cities, and slaying its nobles. They had no choice but to either surrender or face total destruction. Apparently it was said that these devil-faced savages were supernatural demons.
They called them
Spelled
demons?
without the A here. there to
Not
exact
daemons.
divine vengeance for the sins of man.
I feel that thought process did a 180 with the whole demons exacting divine retribution thing.
In the end, Jagatai and his armies reached Palatine's stronghold of Kapasta. Jagatai demanded Palatine's head on a spear, or he would leave no stone standing. Within an hour, a group of meek nobles crawled out of the city's gates and gave Jagatai what he desired. After this pathetic defeat, the honored Khan's power stretched from ocean to ocean, the largest empire the planet had ever known, conquered by a single man in less than 20 years.
The small crusade was a great success.
But even though he now ruled over a vast area, he knew that his people had no real desire to rule such a realm. His motivation was to reunite the tribes and exact vengeance on Palatine. Nothing more.
Maybe it wasn't as great a success as one might have thought then.
I know, I'd say still it was a
While ultimate
success.
power rested with the Khan and his generals, they did not have any developed concept for ruling settled populations. They simply wanted unity.
The
That about
conquering
the
is
time
successful
that
at
I
least.
arrived. As you well know, my memory is fractured, but this book claims that I made landfall and met Jagatai Khan for the first time since his abduction.
Okay.
We met in his Zen little mountain palace called Kwanzaa, where he dropped to one knee in front of me and swore eternal fealty
Will
to
you
the
marry
Imperium
me,
of
God
Man.
Emperor?
In response, Jagatai left the planet and its rulership to his successor Ogudai, while I gave him the 5th Legion, which he renamed the White Scars.
Actually, speaking of that, what were they
Yeah,
called
how did they
before
get their name?
reunited with Jagatai?
I do not remember at all.
Yes, but, ignoring that. After reuniting with you, my Emperor, he of course continued to use the lightning-fast tactics that he had made use of upon Chagoris, and used them to great effect right to the very end.
And then, 70 years after the Horus Heresy, while Chagoris was still a semi-feudal world still under the control of his tribes, Jagati disappeared. His disappearance happened
Jagati.
somewhere near the Maelstrom, while he was chasing a dark Eldar cabal that had taken many of his fellow tribesmen hostage.
It does say here, though, that is not set in stone. It is more likely that the Khan's ship was simply lost in the warp when he was traveling through it, as that does tend to happen.
Yeah.
I would never believe the Khan would face such an anticlimactic end. No. He is in the webway. I have no doubt about this.
What do you base this on?
Staunch intuition, and my knowledge of who the Khan is.
I agree.
Why is he in the webway?
Jagatai Khan is in the webway.
Why?
I can feel it.
No objections here. But, anyway, let us cap the Index Astartes record off with what has
definitely,
happened since then, which is what you are more interested in.
He's like, Dorn, why? Why do you think that's the case? And Dorn's like, I just feel it. And the Emperor's like, no, he's totally there. And Custodian's like, yeah, okay then. I trust you. I trust you. He decided to get in those Dark Eldar drag races. I mean, that's like an infinite race course in there, depending on how you map out a course in the tunnels. That's so dumb.
I am certain.
The origin story of Jagatai does set a good standard for what his legion would become. A ragtag bunch of straggly mustached motorbike lovers who like pushing their throbbing power bikes into heads deprived of bodies.
Would not want them any other way.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh
an
gosh.
interesting tidbit is that Jagatai's palace Kwanzaa.
Why? Why do we do this? Why? Oh. Oh my gosh. This is so cursed. It's so cursed. This is so cursed. Why do they say things like that? And they say it so casually. It takes my brain a moment just to be like, what did you say? I'm sorry, what? Oh my gosh. It wouldn't be Femstodes without innuendo. You are correct. You are correct. I just get surprised every time. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
Became their fortress monastery. It is said to be a thing of savage beauty, its walls containing both running rivers and forests full of wild animals which the Khans hunt for sport.
It is the opposite of savage. It is a magical wooded wonderland.
This palace lies in the Kumkata Mountains, or the mountains that scrape the stars.
Oh, that's kind of a cool
Which is to say
name.
that it is located in the most inaccessible mountaintop on the planet.
Oh, yeah, for
purpose.
sure.
Sounds
Like
like
Mount
he made
Everest.
it intentionally inconvenient just so you could get more scratches and infections on the way up.
Yeah. I mean, you picked Mount
There's
Everest,
also
so
mention
you're one
of
to
their
talk.
combat doctrine, of course, which is the classic lightning-fast hit-and-run tactics with highly
Gotta go
mobile
fast.
forces and ultra-rapid deployment. Wow! Everything's ultra-light and fast, hit-and-run. Whoa! Fast!
Stop having a speed stroke and continue on.
Well, they
Oh,
work
gosh.
best against heavily armored opponents, and while they do prefer to keep their enemies at an arm's length, they are fully capable of launching bloody assaults with both melee bikers and assault squads.
I do wonder how often they just go for the conventional tactic of running their enemies over.
They do not, and I am unsure why.
During the second founding, they dutifully followed Rubuti Gilliman and split the Khan's legions into several chapters. The White Scars chapter was organized with loyalty to the Codex Astartes, but had some rather noticeable organizational differences, such as higher proportions of bike squads, land speeders, and no Devastator squads. What?
I guess going fast is its own suppressive fire.
And no dreadnoughts.
Oh.
To the White Scars, the dreadnought is a terrible fate. Eternal
Oh, really?
confinement that goes
I didn't know
against
that.
the philosophy that when a warrior dies, his soul should be free to go to the afterlife.
But
The
technically,
dreadnought is only a temporary state.
So-
This just sounds like
so you could basically say that the White Scars are a do not resuscitate legion. Well, because technically, if one is still alive, but you're like critically or mortally injured, you're technically not dead yet, and you could be put in a dreadnought because you're not dead. White Scars is just like scratch into their armor, do not resuscitate. I mean, life inside, I would fully admit, life inside a dreadnought would be absolutely horrible. I wouldn't want that. That's for sure. Like imagine if, you know who really wouldn't want to be in a dreadnought? Dante. Dante, chat. Dante would, oh my gosh, Dante would lose his mind if he got put into a dreadnought. Can you imagine that? He'd be so pissed. Especially after Sanguinius is like, come back, my son, live. And then he's like, okay, I will die at the right time. And then that happens. That would be so messed up. That would be so messed up. Just suture one to a bike. So is it going to be like a coffin that's on like a motorcycle, basically? It has like a little window in the front where they can like kind of see out. And like the coffin has like swords and spears that stick out of it on occasion. Or is it going to be like a transformer where it has wheels and then it pops up and then it starts fighting? I like that option. I think that option is really good. That's just me. I just think it's an entertaining thought. There's a reason why dreadnoughts sleep for centuries between deployments. Yeah, I would sleep too. You deserve it. You deserve it after serving for that long. You probably haven't slept very well because I think Astartes only need like 4 hours of sleep or like 4 hours of rest, something like that. I think it's 4 hours of sleep. I think that's right. Man, I wish I could do that. No, I cannot. $40K Transformers would be crazy. They would be, but I think most people would think they're too much like the Tau, and I don't think they get taken seriously because it's kind of that fancy high-tech robot, but it would be really cool if it was like Dreadnought Transformer. Astartes can go for months without sleep, but I'm saying like if they were like in the warp and they couldn't like fight anything, I think they just sleep for like 4 hours. They don't need anything more than that. Like they should sleep, but the exact sleep mechanics aren't consistent between authors, but the Astartes need less, yeah. See, this is why when I play Dungeons and Dragons, it's nice to, like, if I could, okay, let's put it this way. If I could be a race from Dungeons and Dragons, I would choose elf, because you know how much time you save? Because elves, instead of the regular, like, 8 hours of sleep, which a long rest is of like 8 hours minimum, instead of needing a full 8 hours of sleep, you only need 4 hours of, like, meditation or going into a trance. And then the other 4 is just regular rest. And you know how much time you would save if you only had to sleep 4 hours instead of 8? And then for women, it's like 10 hours. I definitely don't sleep 10 hours. Yeah. Closer to the 4-hour mark, unfortunately. Eldar confirmed. No, I just said if I was going to be a race, which implies I am not that race. That's what I would pick. Okay. No, I'm not an Eldar. We've discussed this. I'm an abhuman. My ears have been approved. I'm an abhuman. I promise.
Giant excuse. They know that if someone is put in a dreadnought, they will never go fast again.
As for their belief, the White Scars believed the Honored Khan's vision of mankind united. They also venerated the Emperor, you, my lord, as the ultimate uniter and their founding father.
If we are to get metaphorical, I am more of a grandfather to them, I would say.
Pretty much.
I would say Grandpa Emperor does not
but like,
quite have the same clang.
Yes.
Okay, but like, if you think of it this way, we're not calling... Oh, YouTube chat. We're not calling, like, in the United States, we're not calling George Washington founding grandfather. Technically, if you went by like, oh, well, he's the Khan's dad and then the Khan is your dad, technically he's grandfather. But we're not going out here being like George Washington founding grandfather. It's more of just a regular term that's, I mean, you guys know this. I don't think I have to explain this. Just like a regular term to that you ascribe to an older male figure. All right, there you go.
But they also believe that one day the Emperor will once again rise from the Goblin Throne and begin his next crusade to unify the galaxy once more.
Did you say Goblin Throne?
Goblin Throne. I thought I heard that.
Said Goblin Throne.
Goblin Throne.
No, shut up!
Is the throne made of goblins?
Foreign belief in the Goblin Throne. This is what you should believe.
Anyway,
Goblin
the ones who
Throne.
teach the theological are the so-called Stormseers.
I wonder
who
if
are
that happened on
essentially
accident.
librarians.
And that was ad-libbed.
Incidentally, it says the Stormseers are also the ones who recruit new initiates into the White Scars on Chogoris. Seems like the chaplaincy has been completely wrapped into the librarians amongst the White Scars.
Stop combining things I do not like.
It is because Stormseers were shamans in their old tribes. They are priest and magician in one.
That is like mixing chew-emons, soda pop, and shrapnel. It will result in an explosion, and many will be there to get a lethal face full of the result.
Oh my gosh,
They
that's
teach their
an
following members about strength and
example.
unity, of course. While the Stormseer choose different initiates from wholly different warring tribes on the steppe, they force them to work together and become one under the Khan. Apparently, this does not mean that it is unheard of for tribal feuds to happen between squad members, but not everyone can have as clear a mind as the Khan himself, of course.
I would now like to address the fact that the book talks about the gene seed, which is my area of expertise, considering I made it. I did not make any inherent flaws in the original gene seed, so the supposed savagery that is inherent to the gene seed of the white scars is either entirely placebo, or they somehow
effect.
fudged
Oh my
it up like
gosh.
the space wolves did with their wolf fixation.
Did you just use the word fudge as a profanity?
Shut your mouth, Rogel.
I am adorable.
Yes.
And I like fudge.
Mighty thick when I am near you.
Right, so, I feel like we have the Index Astartes out of the way now.
Whew. Yes, we should really move on to greener pastures.
Do not make jokes. You were not made for it.
No, I was made to protect the Goblin throne.
Stop! So, since we got the basics covered now, I suppose we should review the other books with this one in mind. Compare and contrast, if you will.
Yes. Let us start with these codexes.
Codex Space Marines, 3rd
Yes.
edition.
Third codex goes first. So, this one has a severe lack of information, but it has some. So, first of all, the Rampagers are mentioned, who are a second founding successor chapter of the White Scars.
These were also mentioned in the Index Astartes, along with the Marauders, the Destroyers, and the Stormlords.
One of these is not like the others.
When the most creative name you can come up with for your successor chapters is the Stormlords, it speaks of a lack of imagination.
It really does.
Apparently, the Rampagers have this long ceremony called the Blooding.
That is the exact same name they used for when Jaghatai overkilled that cowardly enemy tribe, as mentioned back in the Index book.
Oh, yes.
You cannot just use the same dumb name for something twice like this.
Well, this ceremony entails the Marines in the chapters scarring themselves.
Hold the flop on.
They what?
Scars denote courage amongst the White Scars,
But
as
they-
inspired by that Doll Scar clan, right?
Well, yes, it says facial scars are a matter of rank and prestige amongst the Rampagers, and
But if you give them
amongst
to
the White Scars,
yourself,
too.
That essentially means the Rampagers are cheating. They scar themselves
Yeah,
without
they-
having earned
I
said
agree,
scars.
yes.
They just sit back and cut themselves for hours, when they could be out getting actual pus-ridden battle wounds by fighting and being useful.
Well, it might have something to do with the blood they harvest from their open wounds.
Ew.
What do they do with it?
What?
They use it for their feast that follows.
Fucking disgusting. Consider them to
What
be on my do
beast?
not meet directly list when I get off of this throne.
Oh my gosh.
It reminds me of my family dinners.
Yeah, that is really it for this codex. It
Oh.
also says that Mundus Planus is the name of Chogoris, repeats the name of the successor chapters in a diagram covering the 20 original Space Marine legions, and that is about it.
Next book then.
Right? Up to the
I
fourth.
can't roll my R's.
Codex Space Marines,
Space
4th
Marines.
edition.
I like that voice. It's really cool.
Hear that crackling? Nice. Right.
You can hear the seagulls now. That's funny.
So, here we first of all have the exact same 20 original legions diagram I just mentioned when covering the third codex to start off with. It is exactly the same, barring some changes in the spellings. Secondly, we have another diagram over the codex compliant and codex divergent chapters, and the different advantages and drawbacks of each.
Should be interesting.
The White Scars are said to be a courageous codex-compliant chapter, and have traits known as be swift as the wind, and trust your battle brothers, while their drawback is flesh over steel.
So they are really fast. They have trust.
I'm sorry. Did I just read the words blood broth? I can almost guarantee there is probably like no other VTuber that has ever had those words in their stream chat before. Blood broth. Bruh. By the way, blood broth. Okay. Story time. I've had blood before, and this isn't like, oh no, like I cut my finger and like I sucked on the wound to get the like to try to like keep it to stop it from bleeding. No, it wasn't like that. I was outside the country, and I like to eat adventurously. That's something that my family kind of passed on to my siblings and I. So I was out of the country and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to I'm gonna try new foods. I've never been here before, so I'm gonna try new foods. That sounds really good. So I'm at this place. I'm gonna be there for like, it was like 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. It was a bit. And oh, hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. Might take a sip of water. Okay. No, here it is. I'll tell you. So I was trying a bunch of foods. Very good. I like most of the food at this place. And the people that were escorting me and my friends around were like, oh, hey, we're going to stop at this place for lunch. It's a local place. I'm like, it looks really good. And this person knew that I was interested in trying like new food. And they said, oh, and like at this point, it's like 8 days in the trip. And I'm kind of sick and tired of trying all the new foods. I'm like, I just kind of want something like kind of classic, just kind of chill. I don't really want to try new stuff. So I was kind of tired. And she comes back after they order for us because they speak the native language. We don't. And she said to me, she's like, Aurelia, I know you've been trying new stuff, so I got some things for you to try. And I was like, oh joy. Oh joy. And what got brought back, chat? Well, there was two things. There's actually 4 things that I tried, but keeping with the blood theme, she brought back these, it was pork blood. And you're like, oh, is that like a liquid? No. It was in like, think about like a gelatin. Think about Jell-O, chat, that little jiggly thing. Imagine it's like opaque Jell-O. It's like a brownish gray and it jiggles. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And she's like, oh, that's pork blood. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And then there was another one. It was chicken blood mixed with rice. And I was adventurous. I did try them. I was not going to say, oh no, I'm not going to have that now. I was not, blah, 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 blah. LOL, you just had some of that for lunch. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't like it. I tried it. I was like, that's all I needed. I'll try it. And that's all. Yeah, basically it was like a tofu texture. Yeah, it was bad. And like there's other things that have there like bloody, but like this, I did not like that. It was bleh. So there you go. Now you know. So and I know other like foods are made with like blood and things. I just Yeah, no, I know. I understand the concept. Like they definitely, the country I was in, they used every part of the animal. I can respect that. Pork blood is unironically great. And see here, this is the interesting thing about being a streamer, is that there's tons of people around the world that like have that stuff on a regular basis, and like I'm just not accustomed to it. It's just different. So yeah, it's interesting to hear. It's like, oh, I just had that today. I'm like, oh well, I did not like it. But I do try everything. So it's not like I'm like, I think obviously if you have dietary restrictions, like then it's like kind of, it's a different situation. But I think especially if you're going to another country, you should try the local food. And it's honestly really, really good. I had some really good foods while I was over there. It was, I'm getting hungry thinking about it, frankly. But like, it's so delicious. So I highly recommend you do that. Eat adventurously. If you can, please don't get yourself sick, and make wise decisions when you're eating food. Don't eat suspicious food. Okay? Okay. Have I ever had shark or alligator? No, I haven't. I'd like to. I mean, I'd be down to try it. If someone said, hey, would you like to try this shark? I'd be like, okay, sure. like a shish kebab cart, like a kebab cart, and it had like labels and it had the original language. And then did the stream die? Did the stream die? It looks like it's still alive. Now I'm worried. Okay, good. It's still on. Good, good, good. Okay. OBS likes to mess with me. Is it still good? Oh no, that's not good. Okay. Crap, that's not good. I'm still getting messages from... Great. 1 second. We're gonna figure this one out, chat. Oh, you're back? Okay. It was just lagging.